let's say the Niners missed the playoffs. I keep going this direction, but they lost to Seattle, and, all bets are off. If the Niners lose to Minnesota, if the Niners don't make the playoffs, should they trade Kyle Shanahan to Minnesota? And the reason I say Minnesota is I don't think Mike Zimmer's going to last. That team just lost to Detroit. And that's the kind of team that they could, they could try to, as you said, the team that would trade for Kyle would be a team that thinks we're a coach away. That team's so invested in their quarterback, their wide receivers. They might lie to themselves and think that they're a coach away. And they might be the sucker that the Niners take advantage of. What do you think?
Kyle might be interested in going there.
He's already said, he's professed his love for Kirk Cousins any number of times. And last week he said Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league. He coaches Deebo Samuel and said Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league. So you tell me.
What's the offer? What are they offering?
I'll take a first-round pick for him. If they want to give me more, that's great. But I'll start at a first.
Didn't Kyle say himself, like, anything's on the table as far as trade for – trade me, he said, right?
He said that.
They could trade me.
He said that.
So
I would take a first. I know the Raiders got 2 firsts and 2 seconds for John Gruden. I don't think Gruden ever had a losing season coming from the Raiders. Here's my thing. I don't know. I was just saying that Jimmy doesn't have – just saying that I don't really think Jimmy has trade value. Yo, what is Kyle's trade value? Seriously. Well, how many teams are looking at this situation right here being like, we can do better with Kyle? What are the Niners not – do they not give him enough power? Do they not give him enough influence? He can do whatever he wants here. So what team is going to say, I can make it work. I can fix this? I don't know.
You never know.
Minnesota? Maybe.
You never know. Cliff Kingsbury got hired after being a losing college football coach.
That is true.
So
that is true.
It is possible you might still be able to get a first. Kyle still has a reputation in the league as being a genius.
As a good coordinator.
It's a good coordinator, right? So it's certainly possible and it's a way to recover, get a first round pick. So
if he misses the playoffs this year and doesn't play Trey Lance, to me that's fireable. But you don't fire Kyle because there are teams that like him. So hey man, who wants to give me a first round pick for Kyle Shanahan, please, and take his contract too. The contract too. That's part of it.
Like you would think you'd be able to get something for him, like even if you got a second, right?
Give me that.
Even if you got a second, and you're going to make that move anyways. I don't think it's impossible to find a decent coach out there. The guy that we're like, look at the guy that they're going against this week, Zach Taylor, right? Where
the team acts like they're playing for a coach who's lost the locker room. When you go to 6-5 and you don't show up to Seattle, I gotta wonder again. I coached 2014, and I do feel like Harbaugh kind of lost the locker room at that point because ownership had undercut him so much. It was clear he wasn't coming back. And if you're lame duck coach, if it's a lame duck season, it's hard to get guys consistently up for games. Harbaugh had that problem last year. I think Shanahan's having that problem this year. He was saying all last week, look, Seahawks are better than their record. I bet you this game comes down to the final possession. Niners didn't. It was no use. It made no difference. They still came out flat and unprepared and sloppy, which is the mark of a coach who's kind of lost his locker room, in my opinion. Lost the trust and belief of his players. What's the vision for next year? What's the vision for now?
What's the vision for Trey Lance?
What's the vision for what the hell are any of us doing here? Am I going to be here next year? Are you going to be here next year? Are we playing the best players? All that kind of stuff.
What's your vision for the special teams, which suck?
Yeah. So, Minnesota, we see you over there. You look desperate. What you trying to give up for Kyle? Kyle and Kirk have to work together at some point, no?
Probably.
It had to happen. Would it be like Rocky IV where they're like running to each other on the beach and then they
Would you trade? Would you do like a first and Mike Zimmer?
No. I don't want Mike Zimmer. Who wants Mike Zimmer?
Can we get like a new coach? I wouldn't necessarily want Mike Zimmer either.
I floated Kellen Moore. He looks like Howdy Doody.
I would take Zimmer as a DC though.
Yeah, for sure. You know who's doing a really good job as a DC right now that no one ever gives credit to? Del Rio.
Yeah.
Del Rio. and Washington just leapfrogged the Niners.